Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching us from. I'm Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host for Connect with Comfort show. Like we always say on this show, we aim to add value to people on business enterprise and personal growth. I am delighted that you are able to join us this afternoon. You are most welcome. We are treating a very interesting topic today, and today's discussion would be on business habits. For the business habits, we have the good, the bad, and the ugly. The essence of this topic is to look into the practices that shapes our professional lives as well as business life, also that influences our workplace and ultimately determine the success or failure of our endeavors. In the ever growing and ever evolving world of business, habits play a crucial role. They are the routine and behaviors that define how we operate on daily basis. Good business habits can propel us towards success, understandably. It also fosters innovation, productivity, and positive workplace culture. On the other hand, bad habits can hinder progress, create inefficiencies, and lead people to a toxic work environment. Then there are the ugly habits, because we said it's about the good, the bad, and the ugly. The ugly habits, those are the habits that not only obstruct our path to success, but also tarnish reputation, undermine trust, and can erase long lasting damage to both individuals and organizations, can cause a long lasting damage to both individuals and organizations. So it is a very, very important topic to discuss when we are looking at sustainability of business, progress, and growth of both businesses, even our personal careers. So we already have our guest in the house, but before we go into all this, we'll go on a very short break and we'll be right back. Please remain connected. We'll be back soon. Thank you.
Being relevant in your field of occupation is proof that you are properly educated. When my parents and I were thinking about my university education, Owen University Iwo was our first choice. Owen University helps you to get the most of whatever course you're studying and also educates you on how to excel in a competitive labor market. From the day I arrived here, I knew when I would graduate, and my mind has been positively transformed since then, thanks to my able lecturers. My name is Salome. I am a medical student, a sanctuary keeper, and a violinist at Bora University. To the medical world, remember my name.
Bowen University, for excellence and godliness.
You're welcome back. We already have our guest in the house. Our guest is Peter Eze. For those that have been joining this show, Peter Eze is not a newcomer to this program, and he has been very, very instrumental to sharing very important experiences with us and great insight into the topics that relates to business world. Peter Eze is a credible, respected, and sought after management consultant, strategic thinker, category creator, enterprise developer, institution builder, business executive coach. He's also an independent project manager and a practitioner in the field of data to decision framework activation. He is a fast emerging and sought after business re-engineering and turnaround expert, known for boosting profits and enhancing employee productivity using proven methods. He is the lead promoter of iPoint, a change management company with hands-on experience in executive business coaching and delivery of road to profit solutions. Peter Eze is a certified executive life coach, LP practitioner, Prince Prince 2 Foundation project manager, and a conference speaker in subject areas like growing your business, leading the future, road to profit, living the technology life, employee engagement, power and business of data, turning misfits into managers, strategy, marketing, and market developer, leadership development, productivity, data to decision, culture, change, management, growth consultant who supports organization and business owners to build fast growing and profitable institutions in the digital age by instituting system and technology driven operations. I can go on, the profile is so intimidating, I just have to abridge it for time, but with the little that I have read to us, you are in no doubt that we are in good hands with Peter Eze. Please join me in making welcome our special guest for today's show,
Thank you.
Peter Eze. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Like I said, this is not the first time he's coming on this show. We appreciate you so much. We do not take it for granted, especially sharing your time, your Sunday evening with us,
Mm.
this cool Sunday evening that we rather be relaxing, but you are kind enough to want to share experience with our audience. Thank you very much. You are most welcome.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you
So
for
we'll
having
go
me on the show.
straight. Sure. Thank you. So we'll go straight to the topic of the day, about a business habit. And from the introduction, we are made to know there is the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, what are the common business habits that successful entrepreneurs can attribute their success to?
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Comfort. And I want to appreciate the opportunity to be in on this very notable show. This show is feeding entrepreneurs, feeding the business and enterprise, the world, as far as Nigeria and Africa is concerned. And I dare say the entire world. All right. So, what are the most common business habits? Interestingly, most of them are so common that we sometimes take it for granted. The first thing is, you know, visioning and mental alignment. Now, I chose to put those two together. Visioning is that capacity to see clearly a destination that's yet to happen. Mental alignment is how your capacity to reprogram your mind so well that your mind begins to live in the reality of that future that has not yet happened. And I will give you a practical example. Story has it that late uh, Herbert Wigwe of the Access Bank and his counterpart Ike Imokwedi. The story has it that whilst they were, I mean, they did their banking career in Guarantee Bank, that whilst they were graduating from school, interesting, that these two gentlemen said to themselves, what do we want to do after we leave school? And both of them agreed that they will be bank owners. Now, you can go and verify some of the story, that they will be bank owners. Now, at the GT Bank induction or entry level, if my story is correct, both of them had said to their other colleagues that we are not here, we are not bankers. So they refused to identify with bankers. Remember, I said capacity to envision and the ability to realign your mental framework to the vision. So they told themselves that we are not bankers, that we are bank owners in training. So that, for me, is one of the most common habits of business or successful entrepreneurs. They are able to see clearly. See, the world was very okay with Microsoft. The world felt that Microsoft was the best thing that happened. I mean, come to think of it, Bill Gates had the opportunity of getting into the computer room because his father was working in a school and he had that access. And when he got in there, he saw the big IBM system and he felt very privileged, that he felt like life gave him an unfair advantage. And he said he wanted to see a computer on every desk. And that's what battered Microsoft. The world was okay with Microsoft, with the joystick, with the mouse and everything. But a gentleman said that mankind needed something better. He felt, oh, this is too bulky. He felt that there's a way we don't necessarily need to use mouse. We can use a navigation. And that guy was Steve Jobs. He saw the reality of the future when the world did not even know they needed it. And I will start with this. A gentleman called Elon Musk. You all know it. We were okay with vehicles powered by fossil fuel. But this guy said he saw a future where vehicles will be powered without fossil fuel. And he started working on it. So the capacity to envision, I think I see this, it's very common. So when you see entrepreneurs talk, they look stupid, they sound like they are insane. That capacity to envision, to see clearly what if a possibility, and to realign your mental framework and your attitudinal disposition to it. I think for me, I'll go with this story.
Thank you very much. Very interesting. But well, it's really understandable. Without a vision, what do you have? Nothing. It's like grouping in the dark. So I identify with what you're talking about. the ability to envision clearly. It gives you the compass, so to say, where to go, what you want to achieve. You already have that set up, and then that will be the driving force to get you to destination. Thank you very much for that powerful definition. How can businesses identify and eliminate bad habits within their organization or business?
All right. So I would say the first bad habit I think we need to eliminate is this putting money above every other thing. The bottom line, the top line, everything being about, does it make profit or does it not make profit? So businesses can identify that by questioning the motive. Uh-huh, uh-huh. When you have started the business, when you have concluded you want to start the business, the first thing you need to do as a business owner is why do you have to? Simon Sinek, the author and the thought leader, said, always start with the why. What's your why for doing this business? What's your why for going into that project? What's your why for this product? If organizations can come back and begin to question the why for everything, including their processes, what's your why? I mean, maybe in the course of this conversation, we look into some of the bad habits. What's your why for your appraisal system, for crying out loud? What's your why? I will tell you, Dr. Comforts, 90% of what happens in corporate Nigeria is completely irrelevant. It is not relatable to the realities of today. Somebody worked somewhere, copied a file, moved it to another place they worked, dropped it there, modified some things, continue using it. So over the years, we've not started questioning, why are we still following this policy? So how can businesses identify? One of them is, first, question, ask, why are we doing this? Second, you can identify and eliminate them by asking how relevant, how is it driving the key objectives of the business? Not is it making profit? I mean, there are so many people on social media today. See, Dr. Comfort, I think it's actually easier today to make money than any other day, because I mean, young people can be on the laptop, on the system, and they are making money. But the question is, so you're making money. What's your objective? What's the big picture? Nobody has, a lot of people don't have the big picture. They only know that they did something, they got paid, they are rich, they bought a house and all of those things. But again, what's the overarching objective? So question the objective, question the why. Look at how relevant what you're doing is in the time that we are living. There is a time we are living. For an organization that says, no, is our policy not to increase salary? Hello, the economy has changed. Inflation has hit. The money you're paying your people don't make no sense any longer. So it's a bad habit, I mean, to say today that you're not going to increase salary, or you're not going to change something about the working package of the people working for you, okay? And on the other way around, for the employees, I mean, we're not discussing employees today, so let's focus on employers. So there are some, you can identify them by saying how relevant is it in the current day, and then secondly, is it advancing the company or not? There are habits of recruitment, there are habits of processes, there are habits, financial habits of businesses. Hopefully, we will get into that, cultural habits of businesses. Some of these things you need to subject them to the test of time, TIME, test of the time that we are in. Is it relevant? Is it advancing us? Is it attracting us? Is it retaining our talent? If the practices and the habits are getting the best talents to move, it's a good time to re-examine and question it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. There is a question, even though the timing may be different, but I just want to, that one of our online audience has just asked, is kindly assist on the one handle. Oh, okay. How do one handle a vision that seems not to be realized? How do one handle a vision that seems is not being realized? Something like that. Can
Okay,
you
I'm
answer that
struggling.
question?
Yes. Okay, so not being realized. There are a number of reasons.
Mm,
It could be that the vision, the time has run ahead of that vision. So So there are two reasons, in my understanding. It's possible the time has passed that vision. For example, if you had a vision of opening a shop to sell floppy disk, remember diskettes of those days. If you had that
Mhm.
vision in 1997, that was a great vision, right? That was a great vision. If you are having that vision today because your father or your mother had a diskette shop, was the richest man at the time, that vision, time has overtaken it. So it's possible that the time we are living, it's not realizable. So it's not possible to realize it because time has moved past us. If you have a vision to open a typewriter company, a company to be manufacturing typewriter, those things that they use at Igbo it was a good vision as a then, but it was not executed. So that vision needs to be updated. That's one part. The second side of that answer is what I call understanding the burden of pioneering. Understanding the burden of pioneering. And I will read a quote somebody dropped on a platform. Please permit me. He said, as a pioneer, you will release ideas that are ahead of their time, and it is normal for people to struggle with them. Don't give up or surrender your ideas to their confusion. Allow them time to understand, and eventually they will recognize the visionary in you. So sometimes it's possible that your idea came it came too early. People couldn't understand it yet, right? Elon Musk idea of an EV is electric vehicle, was way too early for that time. But what he did is he entered into the crucible. He was in the lab for many years. I dare say over a decade. He was working it, he was modifying it. But guess what? Elon Musk did not sit down on the first model of electric vehicle he designed. No, as time was going, even though there was no people were not even ordering because the people didn't know they needed an electric car. He was modifying it, he was updating it. Like, for example, I mean, do you think a driverless car can sell in Nigeria today? I don't know anybody I don't know many people in Nigeria who go and I don't know how many people in Nigeria who will order an Uber and there is nobody inside and they will enter. Me, I will not enter. I won't. So anybody bringing that vision to Nigeria, we struggle. Now, at the time, I personally wanted to go into the business of battery stations because as at when I first did the research on Elon Musk that he was producing electric vehicle, the cost was humongous. And one of the school of thought said, let people own the car, let them not own the battery. Let the battery belong to a battery company. So you only go and buy an electric vehicle, but you don't own a battery. So they will give you go and rent a battery from a battery vehicle. A battery can take you maybe 100 or 200 or 300 kilometers. And then when you get to a particular place, you will switch battery. You will collect the one that has been drained, give you another one. So I had the plan to start that. Which investor will invest? Who is driving electrical car? Not to talk of to be renting battery. So sometimes it could be that you are a pioneer in your design, in your making, and your vision is coming way earlier than its time. So find a way to keep it fresh by keeping it updated, but have something else that's also bringing you money. Elon Musk was not focused on SpaceX, yeah, all these years. He had other things that were giving him money, but he didn't let that vision die. He kept working it until the current day. I hope that has spoken to that question.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Taiwo Ojo, I hope that has helped. In a nutshell, do not let go of your vision. Perhaps it's not for the current time, but still continue to work on it, review from time to time, and then maybe if that is not working, don't depend on that alone. I think that's what our guest is telling us. There should be other things that, in the meantime, is any money for you. So you keep doing that while you keep polishing and reviewing your vision to make sure that it becomes realizable. And I wish you all the best of luck in that. Now we talked briefly on how to identify and eliminate bad habits. What the bad habit that we're talking about, what impact does it have on companies' culture and employees' morale?
All right. So interesting. I think at this point I will just mention a few bad habits. Uh-huh. Um, One of them is the habit of how you recruit people, the onboarding bad habits. In some companies, uh, it is Oga that has candidates that has to be hired. So the HR is just a figurehead. If HR does an interview and says, no, 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 we can't hire this person, an Oga or Madam wants that person hired, I mean, you know what I mean. So what impact does he have? I think the current economy, this our interesting economy, has started getting people to wake up, because right now you could hide unproductivity before. But right now it's not easy to hide unproductivity. One of the biggest issue I think businesses in Nigeria are going to be dealing with is this new minimum wage. Employers of labor were not even, a lot of them were not satisfied with the services they were getting earlier. And all of a sudden government is saying there's now minimum wage, you have to increase, so right now one of the effect that is going to have now is that those who are performing now, a lot, two things has happened to Nigeria. I mean, many things have happened now. Nigeria is like bicycle, it keeps rolling, many things are happening. So one of the things that happened was that the japa that happened took a lot of talent off the labor market. So, in terms of going to look for talent, they are not even necessarily readily available. The few talents, the highest bidders are contesting who will keep them. So now, with the dysfunctional economic occurrence that happened that we are dealing with right now, the value of the naira that you are paying to your staff has grossly reduced. Grossly. You're paying somebody, let me give an example. In Nigeria, I'm speaking from Nigeria, 80,000 naira. I don't know what the dollar value is, but you're paying somebody 80,000 naira, or let me even say 120,000. 120,000 naira for those of you that use Toyota Camry, Big Daddy, is 3 full tanks. If you drive a full tank of Toyota Camry in Lagos traffic, you use it for 1 week. That is if you stay like you are only on the mainland or you're only on the island. Maybe you are in Aja going to work in VI. In fact, to take you 1 week, you really, really try. You have to watch traffic. So in 1 week, you have finished 40,000 naira. A full tank of Toyota Camry is about 38,000. So I want to round it off to 40,000, because most times it's not like your tank is empty, so there's still some reserve. So I presume that an empty tank of Toyota Camry will swallow 40,000 naira. And 120,000 naira salary you are paying someone is your 3 weeks, is the person's 3 weeks of petrol fueling the car in this economy. That's 3 weeks. That means if the person has to drive for 1 month, it's not even up to you didn't even take the person fueling alone. Nobody is collecting salary to buy petrol. Nobody is collecting to buy salary. I'm using this analogy to tell you the reality of the salary you are paying to your staff. Okay. You can't afford to continue this bad habit of employing your cousin. Now, this is where we're going. You can't afford that habit of, it's my sister's uncle's mother's nephew. And you will disarm the system within your system. If you do it now, it's going to hurt you big time. Secondly, you can't afford to conceal unproductivity now. Employers of labors don't shine eye. Sorry for those of you watching outside Nigeria. Shine eye means be clever, more
getting
clever.
wiser. Getting wiser.
Before now, there was what we call magic number in the space of productivity. Magic number. That is the money you will pay, and you will get a reasonable, a good talent. It used to be 200, between 200,000 and 250,000. When you put that on the job advert, you will get quality people submit their resume. I don't think 250,000 is now a magic number. It looks like 200,000 is like the starting point, because to be realistic, how much can you really use? What can you do with 200,000? So there is pressure on employers to pay more. And every reasonable employer wants to get value, because when we did management consulting training, we were told that every employee must generate at least 100 times the money they are paid. Oh, sorry. Every employer will demand at least 100 times whatever salary they pay you. If an employer pays you 100,000, they will demand that at least, I don't know, 100 times of 100,000. That's what they want to make out of you in 1 month at the least. So you can't do that. Secondly, the bad habit of you coming dip your hand into the vault of the company. You call the accountant and send this money, pay this money. You can't continue doing that. Oh. Tinubu is collecting tax. He is not smiling about it. So the tax you're paying is high. The cost of that money is very high. You have to follow due process and ensure that every money that leaves the company is accounted for. It's no longer as usual. So these are the impact of bad business habits. One is going to drain you are going to be paying more. Secondly, it's going to affect your cash flow or your working capital. The other thing it's going to do is that it's going to be little number of people that have skills in your business. They will go. Once they notice there is no sense of order, nothing is coordinated, they will carry their bag and go. And some of them, they won't even stay back in Nigeria. They will jack back. And before you can fill those roles, you will probably need to pay 3 or 4 times what you are currently paying. Anybody you have as an employee today, and this is to business owners, please, CEOs and entrepreneurs, please draw closer. Any employee you have today that is good, do everything not to lose them. If you lose them, to get someone at their level of performance, you will pay 3 times that salary. If you want to try me, fire one tomorrow. You will pay 3 times, and they will come in, but they won't have your culture. They will have the brain. They won't have the heart, right? Because they are coming from a different environment.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I hope we'll be able to push it out many questions today. It's getting very interesting. Even to stop you, it's difficult. Now, you were giving some example of the good, the bad. Can you give us an example of the ugly business habits that can be detrimental to company's reputation?
All right, we've moved into the era of, we've moved away from competition to collaboration. Right now, businesses are looking for how they can collaborate with other businesses, not necessarily compete. There's something that used to happen in corporate Nigeria, which is Oga sets people in the system to fight each other. Because he or she thinks that's the way. If Lagbaja fights with Dupe can come and tell me any bad thing Lagbaja said. If you try it now, it's an ugly. In today's economy, if you try it now, you're going to wake up and realize now only you waka come. I'm sorry. This is a bad habit. I'm in Nigeria. I'm so sorry. For those of us tuning in from other parts of the world, now only you waka come means you are actually on your own. You're on your own. So this habit of promoting internal competition, everybody fight themselves, because you think that's the way. If they are fighting, they won't collude to steal money. If you try it now, it's going to bite you. What you need right now, the few people you have, collaboration is the key to mining the assets you have today. So one of those examples of ugly business habits is creating confusion. Office politics, plain dirty office politics. That's what we call it in Nigeria, in your organization. The other one, second one, which is closely related with to what I said earlier, is being unguarded in how you bring your personal life into your company operations. See, Oga, if you have a girlfriend, you have every right to have as many girlfriends as possible, but please keep her away from office. I'm sorry. It's an ugly business habit in the economy that is biting today to bring one girlfriend that will come. that nobody can fire, nobody can sack. It's not now. It's an ugly habit. Keep her somewhere, rent a duplex for her, furnish her, maintain her life, but keep her from business. Let business run as business. And the last one, I will say is a very ugly habit, is this idea of finding different ways to deduct money to your employees. I know I am very deliberate. The ones I'm picking, I am not picking the ones by the books. I'm picking the ones that is back. I'm talking from Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria and I'm living in Nigeria. I understand it. You will say there's shortage. You deduct money. See, you do it today. You do it these days. No problem. They will wait. The moment they collect their salary, this first week of the next month, they will leave you and your business and move away. So all this, organization pilfering the money, let me use that word, pilfering the money or the entitlement of the people working for them. Oh, someone is entitled to leave allowance. That's when you will go and tweak the policy, because you think that the person's leave allowance will be too much. You draw so much, you tweak the policy. If you try it right now, it's going to, but it's one of the, for me, I consider it an ugly business. It's better to call the person and say, our cash flow is not very okay, but we know you are entitled to 8 million naira. Can we do a payment plan? It's more honorable. Being transparent, not being transparent is an ugly business habit. Not being transparent, you have a hidden secret, hidden charges, things that trade secret, we call it trade secret, and then people don't know exactly. You do policies in a way that gives you wiggle room to escape, go away and do other things. I mean, I think that for me constitutes my own part of ugly business habits, amongst others.
Thank you very much. In considering all this, what are the most effective strategies for changing entrenched bad or ugly habits, as we have said?
All right, it starts from the door. The bad habit started from the door. The bad habit can only be ended from the door. First, who, then what? So the question is what? I will start with who. First, you need to do a culture audit. Find out how many culture really exist in your organization. There is a culture of the oga or the madam that owns the business. There is a culture of the managers. So if you run a business that you hired people who are experienced, you poach them from other organizations, they always come with their own baggages. They come with the way they were working there, running there, and all of those things. So you need to sit down and do an audit, run a survey. The first thing is you need to do a diagnostics, run a survey to know exactly what are those bad business habits that exist in our company. Nothing is generic. To your own company, it may be financial business of the bad habit. Your others could be lifestyle. The others could be business relationship, stakeholder management. So you do a survey. By the time the result comes out, trace the root, go to the root of the thing. Find those managers who are responsible. Now, the big elephant in the house is where you, as the owner of business, are the architect of the bad habits. Now, this one, I come back again to my Nigerian thing. There's one thing that happened. So we created something for me. They say, my oga at the top cannot be saying one thing and I'm saying another. So the point there is, this one will require the honesty and the sincerity of you as the business owner. Madam, Mr., are you honest about that's where the motive for your starting that business is going to be tested. If it is about feeding yourself, taking care of your family, living the best life, it will be shown then. If it is about longevity and the sustainability of this business, you will get to that point where you will say you will submit your individual interest to the organizational goal. And that, I will say, is the biggest challenge for business owners in Nigeria. I am a Nigerian, so I live in Nigeria. I can only speak about Nigeria. I've traveled to a few African countries, but I can only speak about my country. Most times when you drill down, it's about being rich, making my family rich, and ensuring they don't suffer to the second or third or fourth generation. It's not about the company. It's usually about the person. So trace it first. Who are the architects of these bad habits? Trace them, pick them, and you come to a point where you say, between this person that I think is competent and the longevity of this company, which one is more important? If you think that keeping this person to keep making money for you is okay, you are right. Keep the person. You just know that the company is not going far. The day you die, everything will fizzle out. Now, if you think the longevity of the company is better, you will pick the person, do a good send for the person, take the person out, and look for people that will align with the values that will take this organization forward. I hope that's answers to that question.
Perfectly, perfectly. Then, in all this, what role does leadership play in establishing and maintaining good business habits?
Yeah, leadership really is everything. Ultimately, there has to be a congruence of your position as a leader and your practice. Position and practice. That's where the congruence happens or doesn't happen. A leader has to, at that point, take a position. You, as the business owner, you need to take a position to say this is, and even when you are guilty, you are not, that you are a business owner does not make you perfect. And unfortunately, in the African context, we have this idolizing people in positions of power. Nothing says that you are perfect because you're a leader. No, you have the same thing as everybody. You probably just stood out because you had a vision, you went for it, right? But that doesn't make you a perfect person. No, you still have your struggles, your ability to identify. So the role of leadership is you need to come to a point where you do a SWOT analysis of yourself as a leader, as the MD. Can you do an unbiased and emotionally unattached, get a consultant, get a business, consultant, a strategist to do a SWOT analysis of you as a leader, SWOT analysis of this company. But ultimately, your role as a leader is first of all to promote and evangelize the values of the organization. What are the core values? Now, if your company does not even have a well-defined core value, that is even where the whole problem is. Vision is the star you are looking at that is guiding the ship. Your mission is that boat that is carrying you there. The core values are the paddles that you are using, to keep the boat in on a direction, in direction to ensure that they get to the destination. So a leader need to come, make a firm statement to stand for the values, to stand for the vision, and ensure that his or her behaviors align or are in congruence with those position or statement that they've made.
Thank you very much. What role does accountability play in all this for maintaining good business habits?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. I think that for me is what qualifies the last statement I made, which is for a leader, the only way you can keep your true north is where you hold yourself accountable to the system and you hold yourself accountable to a structure. You cannot make a rule in a company that you are above. No, you must show that you two are submitted to the policies and the systems that operate your organization. But I will say this for leaders of corporate organizations, please, if you have not made a big breakthrough, you are in a very good place. Find a role model or a mentor, someone you are accountable to for what you say you are going to do in your organization. But please don't find yes ma or yes sir people, please. Find people that can look you in the face and tell you, sir, ma, that was a stupid decision, that was a stupid action, and they have nothing to lose. They are not trying to protect their next paycheck from you. So the first thing is that you must be accountable to people that mentor you. Secondly, you must be accountable to the system of the organization you have put in place. And please permit me to use this analogy. God Almighty created the universe. He created and the universe is governed by laws and principles. Yet God in his almightiness does not defy those principles. One of them is the law of gravity. You cannot say because you prayed, you went to the mosque or you went to church, you want to jump from what 3-story building and expect that God should carry you to the 5th-story building. No, it doesn't work like that. God respects his principles. He respects his systems. So you as a business owner, how much of yourself do you submit to the principle of the system? And those things are tested when you are under pressure. The day you are about to lose something, you will break all the rules. Tell that what kind of nonsense? Tell Agbaja, release that money. You can you will bully everybody. But the day you do it, what you just did was everything that they have, every block they have laid to the lintel level, you just brought it down. The next time you will talk policy, you are going to start from ground zero. So hold yourself accountable to people that you respect and you can take their instruction. Hold yourself accountable to the system you have built. And please do that early before money comes, because when money comes, CEOs don't have ears again. They have eyes and they have mouth. Their ears, they donate their ears to charity. An average CEO in Nigeria has no ear. We know they hear word once money comes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Actually, we just received the contribution from Dr. Asain from Abuja, saying that employees need to be trained regularly on corporate culture to get them to see the bigger picture. I agree, because they need to know the culture, the first instance, for them to be able to follow through with it. Thank you very much for that contribution, Dr. Asain.
That's true.
If I can just squeeze in this because of time, and that is to ask, how can technology be leveraged to support and reinforce good business habits?
What can we say? Can we actually finish a conversation in the present day time without bringing in the big brother called technology? Yeah. And I think technology is a big advantage right now. The good thing is that technology is going to play a role in your company or in the business habits that you have. Now, if you are not intentional, technology is going to act against you. Okay, it's going to act against you. You see, the social media does not take permission from you before posting. They don't take permission. People will go on social media and they will report this happened, that happened. We've seen people who come and say, I've resigned from that company. I worked for them for 3 months, 6 months. Sorry, my habit. This and that happened. They kept my money. They didn't pay me this month. See, you can act like you're not hearing all those things and walk away, but it's accumulating. The internet doesn't forget. One day somebody is going to dig it up, the archive, and they're going to use it against your company. So I would say that technology is already working. It is whether it is working in your favor, against you, that we are discussing here. And so the question is, how can you leverage technology to drive good business habits? See, they say only bad press, only bad news make it to the press. I don't know about other countries, but our media houses, they like reporting very interesting. It's bad news that sells. It's okay. It's bad news that sells. But the thing is that, what are the good things that your company is getting right? How are you projecting it? See, I love the comment the gentleman from Abuja made. I love it. I mean, I just felt like, oh, this guy hates it. See, organizations are not investing in training again. I run a company. We are a project management company. We do training on leadership, also productivity and everything. A lot of companies are not training their staff again. They will tell you that if I train, they will go. They are not trained. They are not investing. See, the attitude of business owners already send messages to employees that they are not real. They're not investing in training. You don't train people on the culture, and you are faulting them for spoiling those culture. So my point is, so I agree with him. Organizations should invest in training people on corporate culture. What's our culture? Who are we? I will make this analogy. I remember in the then days, when you see four people, you can pick who is a guaranteed trust bank staff. You can pick who is a Zenith Bank staff. You can pick who is a First Bank staff. And you can pick who is a Union Bank staff. I will not tell you the qualities here because I don't know who is listening and I don't want any lawsuit on my head. But I will pick GT Bank. They were able to invest so much in the people that the people became the ones that were promoting the values of the bank. So I will say, invest in the people and leverage technology to use the people that work for you to tell the story of the good habits of your company. Why is it that your staff are not the ambassadors of the company that you run? There is something wrong. Harley Davidson, the bike company, is a company reputed for using the people working there as brand ambassadors. They don't pay any celebrity to go brand ambassador. Who that one help? No, they don't pay you anything. No. It is the staff.
We need to leave it at that because we are running out of time. Thank you very much. There's one post also from that contributor about how can chartered accountant get owners to comply with financial regulations of the entity. Perhaps they also have to go for training. So I think we need to leave it there. I wish we have more time because there are so many questions we have not been able to touch, but time is not on the side of this discussion. A lot has been packed in because of the various examples our guests had to, the insights he has to share on the topic, which makes it more interesting and understandable. Thank you very much, Peter. I hope maybe we are going to have a part 2 of this particular topic in not too distant future because it's very key. It's very key to our success, and you have so much. I can see how it's using out. You have so much to dish out for us. I thank you very much. As you have noticed, we have not even gone on break just to save time so that we can enjoy all that you have for us. So I appreciate you once again, and we'll get in touch. It is very interesting. I think we need to have a part 2 of it. Thank you for making time out today, and thank you for always willing to share, for us to share out of your vast wealth of experience. Thank you very much. In fact, I'm not going to have time for much wrap up because time is fast spent, but quite a lot has been said today, and basically referring us to what we must do first. First thing first, get your vision very, very clear. Get your vision very, very clear. So if that is the only thing you take away from this session, it would have been worthwhile because everything starts with vision. And for business, you cannot just put everything down to money. Money is not everything, like you said. We must ask the why. Why are we into this business? Why do we want this business? What do we intend to do with it? So our Dr. Asay is asking you to come back. We will do that very soon. Thank you, Dr. Asay. I particularly enjoyed this session, and I'm sure many people do. So to quickly wrap up, because time has gone, I want to appreciate once again our guests as well as our regular online follower, Dr. Asay Taiwo Ojo from Abuja, and others that have joined us today. I appreciate all of you. And I just want to quickly say in conclusion for this program, the habits we choose to develop and maintain will define us as professionals and shape the future of our businesses or organization. I once again thank you, and I want to assure you that we will get Mr. Eze back to talk to us in not too distant future. Thank you. Time is really far gone. So please like and share our videos. Stay updated with information about upcoming events, solutions, and offers on my Instagram account at Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook account. Till I come your way again, let's strive to cultivate the good, be mindful of the bad, and reject the ugly, ensuring that our business practices lead to sustainable success and positive contribution to society. Meaning, everything is not money. Thank you for joining today. I wish you the best of the week. Thank you. Bye bye.